Here we go. We're live after hours, HobbyPlex, and tonight I am doing something a little different. I picked up a used XXX4, and it's a pile, so it needs a lot of work. The main thing is the front bulkhead looks like it's messed up, and so I actually have a XXX chassis. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the front bulkhead off of this because it should be the same and transfer it over to that, and that should be at least a little bit. I also have this plate right here on the old car that's a graphite one. I'm going to put it with that, and if I find any other stuff, I'm going to flip it around. But yeah, just another car from my collection behind me, and should be good. I also found a Gene Husking video of the 1997 Worlds at the Ranch Pit Stop, which I never even knew existed. I mean, I figured he had it, but back then the Trinity did this thing where like they were the only ones that could have video, and I've never actually seen this race in a Gene Husking video, and I found one on YouTube, so it's kind of cool. So I'm looking at that too while this is going on. That track was cool looking. It's almost like a, I remember thinking that track was almost like a perfect, the perfect 10 scale Worlds type track. Nothing big and stupid. And it had a real technical infield, had a big long straightaway, nice sweeper, so you could get good starts. Also, the ranch was really cool too because they never really used any pipe. They just had like these concrete things as lane dividers, or they molded the dirt. And the cars look really, really good. Just good old rear motor cars. Anyways, enough of that. It's a cool race to watch though. So yeah, so some of this stuff. So like the servo here looks like it's either glued in or it's shoe-gooed in. I hope it's shoe-goo. I'm gonna try to get it out of there, and with the gear cover, but I'm not sure quite what to do with it. This is acting like shoe goo, so I'm hoping. I'm hoping that it's shoe goo. My favorite part of the Trinity video from '97 was Mark Pavidis and Yuka Stenari, like just hammering each other, but doing it and not necessarily wrecking each other. I mean, they were trying to wreck each other, it looks like, but I mean, they just hammered each other, and it still ended up being a race to the end, I guess. Shoot. Oh, there it is. The one thing about working on this car is that it's all standard size screws. So lucky for me, I got my MIP 1/16 wrench. That's pretty tough because I never use it. I'm gonna have to try to get all this yucky shoe goo off of here. I don't want to necessarily mess up the chassis a whole bunch, but So at work this week, I spent the first part of the week putting in a brand new dirt oval for this winter, and in doing so, I used up a lot of dirt. There's a video that I posted, kind of shows what I was doing. The off-road track's gonna be cool. We're also using the entire track now, so we're using the dirt oval as well. So lap times are gonna go from like 20-second laps to probably 25-second laps, somewhere in there. Mitchell's on here. He wants to know what's going on for racing next week. Did you ask Aiden or Trevor? So Aiden doesn't run races. Trevor is also going to be gone. So my vacation here has been planned since like May, and Trevor also needed this weekend off, I believe, for a hunting trip. So that's kind of where the problem ends up being. Sounds like I got Jay Fairchild to run Friday nights, and we're still locating somebody to run Saturdays. We're racing regardless, so whoever it'll be to run the races. But you know, Jay stepped in for me before. You know, he doesn't really race that much right now, but he knows how to run the computer. He's got a nice voice. He's knows how to call traffic. He knows how to keep the program moving. So pretty happy that he's able to run Friday, and then Saturday, if we get who I think we're going to get, everything should be fine. So if not, I'm not really sure. Might be Tim, and I'm sure he'll be happy about it. So we are he's been running racing real cars, like a sprint car, and you know, I think that season's pretty much over. And he also has a job, so but it sounds like he's able to do Friday, so that's great. And you know, we'll make it work. It's not that often I'm gone, so everybody just kind of gets that comfortable feeling of me being there all the time, and that's fine too. There's nothing wrong with that. So look at these wheels. So they're not exactly in there. So I'm hoping that I'm hoping it's just the nuts that are off. I got to dig deep in my box for standard size wrenches. What do we got here? So I think this one, I just think it wasn't in there. Oh yeah, it just wasn't tightened down, so that's good. Shane, ask your dad about the XXS, or sorry, XXX4. He used to, your dad used to rock this car. He used to be really fast with it. I mean, he's always fast, but with this car specifically, I remember him at Chillicothe being fast. Even though this car is not on the list of like sought after four-wheel drive cars, the XXS unfortunately kind of gets a bad name because it was based off of this car. This is a XXS, and actually, hang on. So this is XXS, and this thing was an amazing touring car for the time. Like it had a single belt. You guys can see that. So this thing had a single belt, and so it was really efficient. It was really quiet. It had a, you know, just a really good for the time, for that era, for this era of touring car. It was just a very well-balanced car. You can see the cutouts for nickel metal hydride batteries. And there was 2 cars. So the first one they came out with was the original car, which had still cutouts for the batteries, but you could see that it was just a regular plastic chassis. And the graphite car, which was significantly lighter, had all these cutouts here. It was still like a pan, and it was a molded one-piece deal. So the cool thing about this was your access was underneath. You guys can see that right here. You'd unscrew that, and that's how you got your belts through when you built it. And then it has this cool piece right here that has a screw in it, and you pick that up out of there, and you can take out this whole thing, and then your belts are free to work on and service. I don't know. It's just a really rad car. Unfortunately, this one, the belt itself is disintegrating. So, and really hard to find. So this one's basically me. This one is shelf queen status, but it's a really good condition car. So. Jackson, it's very possible that it's my fault because I think Emerson is downloading a game on his Xbox. So maybe I'll shut off my YouTube and see if I can get the bandwidth up. It's probably my fault. Technically, it'd be Emerson's fault. But whatever. Okay, so let's see what we got here. So these shocks are spec, but these front end, the way he's got it mounted here, is not necessarily the way that that's supposed to be. And again, I got to go dig around for my standard size wrenches because I probably haven't used them in a long time. Okay, so I try to get everybody to listen to our podcast, the HobbyPlex Show podcast with Will, Britton, and I. And but I can tell you that if you don't listen to tomorrow's podcast when it comes out, or just go back and find the YouTube version, but the edited version, you've got to listen to the edited version this week. It's super funny. Webrise.com did a fantastic job with the editing. It's super funny. We go over results at the end and all that too. But dude, it's so funny. Listen to it today because I review. My sister wants me to review every episode, and I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. And it is so funny. So, yeah, get on there tomorrow when it drops and listen to it. It'll be well worth your time for sure. So what do we got here? So on the shocks, so this is going to be a completely refurbished car when I'm done with it. But I'm already seeing some stuff. So here we go. These are not, stock. I believe these are Traxxas shock ends. And you can see one is a different size than the other. So this is going to be fixed. I actually think I have shock posts in my, not the newer ones. Because I don't throw away much. So in these drawers here and in my little area over there, I have a whole bunch of just bins full of stuff from forever ago, That's how I keep that body right there. I mean, that's my original LXT body from 1994. or 3 or something like that. So I don't throw away much when it comes to RC stuff. Maybe I should. I don't know. On dirt, just weekly Saturday racing, starting the 3rd weekend of January. So it'll be January 2nd, January 9th, and then January 16th. We'll be back on the dirt track on Saturdays. And I think there's 3 club races before the February race. And then there's a Techno Series race that Saturday afterwards. Is there? No, there's not. So after that, I'm going to take like a poll, and I'm basically just going to ask people, are they going to want to go back to carpet for a little while after this race that we're having in February? Or do we just say the heck with it and stay on dirt for the Saturdays? There's only 3 available Saturdays between February like 16th, whatever Saturday that is, and the end of March for just club racing, because February always sucks because there's usually only 4 weekends, and March is when we like wrap up a bunch of stuff. So there's going to be big race, club race, Techno Series, carpet off-road crash-in, big carpet off-road race. That's February 26th, I think. Then the following weekend would be a club race. The next weekend is, I believe, a club race, and then it's Techno Series, and then it's Tamiya Championship Series. So that time of year for us is always weird because of how those races just seem to always kind of line up and take over events. So we do have 1 big carpet race in February, and then just regular everyday Saturday racing is what you can use your V6 for. So Tamiya TT01, that's every Wednesday at 7. You can run that, and then on, let's see, 1 Sunday a month, starting next Sunday. Yeah, you can race a lot here if you wanted to in Omaha, because we have so much stuff going on all the time. It's just crazy. And it's fun. That's what we're able to do. I'm just going to take this off. This is dumb. Let's see. You know what? I'm just going to leave that on there. I don't know why I'm taking these off. These are titanium ball studs. That's kind of cool. Titanium ball studs are one of the few parts I would actually put on my car other than turnbuckles. That's titanium. I'm not a big fan of titanium screws. But ball studs usually are okay. They're actually a little more brittle. They'll actually just snap right off instead of bending. So you do got to watch that. But if you're really worried about weight, titanium ball studs are not too bad of a way to go. I'm just going to set that off to the side for now. I'm not digging the multicolored turnbuckles either. But I don't think, and these are RPM turnbuckles ends too, which, so RPM turnbuckle ends are great if you don't mind them getting really sloppy. So they don't break, but they get very loose. That was always one of the gripes about them. Okay, so previous owner of this car used Phillips head screws for stuff. And that's no bueno. So it's another reason why I wanted to take this bulkhead off, because I'm sure that the holes are Gandhi. I'm sure there's not much left of them. I'm going to flip this down a little bit so you can more in the car. How's that? Yeah, it's a little bit better. So this almost looks like a Tamiya screw. Wah, wah. And there's two of them. So, and then there's these big long ones I'm going to show you guys. Luckily, I don't think this is going to be damaged. So these are wood screws basically, or like the thread is like a wood screw. That's why I think these are Tamiya screws. But I think these will be fine getting rethreaded into. I'm curious about this bulkhead though. The previous owner just texted me. He's like, I didn't build that car. So he must be watching. Notice I said previous owner. I did not mention your name. Okay. Woo. Brutal. Okay, so here's another set of Phillips head wood screws. So I was planning on working on my stadium truck tonight and working on my putting some more parts on my kids' B6. And then I got home and I realized that I left the parts, or I'm sorry, I left the cars at work. So kind of dumb. All right, so this is kind of a bummer. So you can see here, that's the front bumper for the Triple XS, and you can see that it's broken. So hopefully I could, without spending a buttload of money for it, because sometimes people have stuff on eBay that they want crazy amounts of money for. So here's the old bulkhead cover, and you can see that it's broke right here. So this is a Triple XS, Triple X4, sorry, off-road, and I'm just gonna try to make, for now, just the front end better. This was the diff cover, and you can see it's graphite, so that was kind of cool. But it's broke, really broke. And luckily, I have one on that car. This is just a half a car of a Triple XS, but they should be the same. So that's really good. But while I'm at it, I was going to look at all this other stuff that's on here. So there's more. So here's some more right there. That's a Phillips head screw. And it's hanging out the bottom of the car. The rear end actually looks to be in pretty good condition. Shocks need rebuilt, but a lot of these screws are mismatched, don't belong, sort of thing. So we're going to do what we can to get it fixed up. It's kind of a cool find, though, really. I got called up and said, hey, you collect cars, right? I'm like, yeah. You want this one? I'm like, yeah. That is in there deep. So if the feed is bad, I'm really sorry. My kid is downloading some game on his Xbox, so I got to remind him not to do that on Thursday nights. And I need a big honking screwdriver. I don't think I have one. Check one more spot. Nope. That's okay. I'll keep hammering it, I guess. There. I just don't want to strip it. And I feel like it's not coming out now. Yeah, look at that. It's not even. Oh, there it goes. So this is what was in the rear end. So there's one. And here's the other. Two different completely sizes. And that's also in the rear bulkhead. I might have to change out both the front and rear bulkhead on this thing. Although it's not like I'm going to run it, I guess, so it wouldn't be that big of a deal, but still. And then we need to get the little 1.5. Or the 050, I guess, to get this. So I'm going to change this center, this old center plate out for the graphite one that's on my XXS specimen. Most of this car is graphite, so that'll be cool to have a matching set. It's pretty awesome. And plus this one's all kind of scratched up, kind of beat up a little bit. So I also have a line on a Team Associated T3, which would be really cool to have because that would almost complete my Team Associated truck collection. I just need a, yeah, see that right there? Oh, that's busted. So that'd be kind of cool to have that. I just need a T4 after that, an original T4 though. Favorite RC car ever? That's tough because I have a lot of favorite RC cars. But I don't know. Man, that's a tough question. Those are hard. Those are so hard questions because I can almost divide it into categories. Probably the XXX buggy, or the XXXT, the original XXX buggy and XXXT. Probably my favorite car. All these cars up here have sentimental value to me, or cars that I always wanted and I was never able to afford them. I'm still not able to afford them, but whatever, I still get them. But this car, even though this one's a BK2, so it's not the original, but I drove a XXX, and I think it was a XXXT before the buggy. It was like totally different than what the old cars felt like, and I really felt like it really felt like you were driving something next level, you know. The first time I ever saw XXX was at the 99 Mod Nats, 1999, and I went there with a XX, and they had the prototypes there. Brian Kimwald won everything with with a double X4 and I think still running a double XT, and then they had the triple buggy, and you know, just watching them go around the track, you know, it was next level, and I really wanted one. So plus the staying power of this car, it's kind of like the B4 from Team Associated. The staying power of this car, I mean, it was from 2000 to 2010. You know, the 22 came out in 2010. So even though it had a couple different versions, you know, the staying power of this platform showed that it was on a whole nother level when they came out. So I think probably the triple X buggy, the original one, and all the follow-ups after that, I think those cars are really, 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 really good. It changed everything, you know. Not soon after that, the Team Associated B4 came out, and it had a lot of the same features. It looked different, you know, but it had, you know, instead of side-mounted ball studs, it had upright ball studs. You know, the battery trays and everything were kind of moved around. Had that nice, cool curved chassis. So, yep, probably that. But if you want to talk about, if you want to divide it into categories, I think that's kind of fun too. I think in the off-road realm, that car is probably it. If you're talking about like rock crawling, right? The low-C comp crawler, way back in the day, that thing is sick. I wish I would have never gotten rid of my original one, because I think I could still compete in Class 3 with that thing nowadays, and that thing would dominate. Like, I need to find one, because those things were sick. And I sold my original one to somebody here in town that I know still has it. And if I ever see him again or talk to him or try to talk to him, I'm going to be like, hey, dude, can I buy that back from you? And knowing that person, he'd probably want $100 extra on top of it, which sucks. If you're talking about touring car, the TC3, favorite of all time. It was simple. It handled really good. You know, it's fast, accelerated well. If you're talking about just like a fun car, just pure basher fun car, even though I don't do that a lot, I still think like you can't go wrong with like a T-Max and E-Max. I still think those are super fun to play with when I get a chance. You know, when I used to work on stuff a lot more at the Plex, you know, I was always kind of, after I fixed somebody's car for them, taking that and like, you know, bashing around the parking lot for a while. That was a lot of fun. So, yeah, I think if you look at it like that, there's a whole bunch of favorite cars. Yeah, the Wraith is pretty cool. The Wraith was cool because you can treat it like a Slash 4x4. I mean, if you can crawl with it if you want to, but you can also huck a 3-cell in there. The Wraith is a cool truck. Yeah. Hopefully all these screws are here. If they are, look at that. That's great. The Plex is not going to do an Armageddon Bash Fest this year, mainly because, unfortunately, it's due to the COVID. Horizon Hobby didn't necessarily want to be responsible for, so none of that this year. No, I think we'd be safe. Hope things are right now. It just doesn't, we just didn't have the support for it, so. Yeah, so so my first ever hobby grade RC car was a Tamai Falcon. That's why I have one. That's why I have this one here, just to kind of remind me of where I'm from, you know. the guy who talked my mom into buying that instead of an RC10 at Bel Air Hobbies in 1988 or whatever year it was. That guy's still around. I haven't seen him in a while, but he's still around. I always think about what would have been different with my RC car experience if I would have gotten a pure race car like an RC10 a lot sooner than if I had not. Oh, man, so this is interesting. So I was curious to see if this belt was going to be any good. What a bummer. Look at this. Because, you know, these are going to be kind of hard to find. That. You see that? Maybe. There you go. See it? What a bummer. I think the belts are going to be tough because of this reason. They just disintegrate. Look at that. Wah, wah, wah. It's funny because the belt on this car is actually in decent shape. I mean, it's a little frayed here and there, but it's all the teeth are there and it doesn't look like it's going to come apart anytime soon. But on the XXS ones, they are toast. Toast. Oh, no. Oh, I just... Oh. It's too short. The XXS is shorter. That sucks. All the holes are good until the very back end. I forgot about that. Man, that bums me out. So I'll have to put this one back on. Oh well, at least I have all the screws now. I'll siphon the screws away from it. Yeah, there was a dude down the street that had I think it was like a Kyosho Big Brute back in the day. That he only brought out, like, I remember running it the entire time I lived there. At least I only saw it one time. And then there was a nitro car too, and I think it was like maybe a Nitro USA 1 or something like that. And this is early 90s, so you know those engines were really super temperamental back then. Jackson's going to run independent. I'm surprised he didn't run both last week. Nothing wrong with that. Gotta do whatever makes you feel happy. As long as it's within the rules, it doesn't really matter. All right, so we got to find 2 screws. And I think these are all standard size in this one. Thanks to Dennis Johnson. These are all of his old boxes here. Not all of them, but some of them. That long, so that's good. Where'd my 1.5 go? This seems too long. You know what? I wonder if I have the instruction manual for this thing. I didn't even think about that. you have a triple XS one, it's probably the same in the back for the bulkhead. Wait. Front. Sorry if I'm boring you guys. Trying to remember if I had is the rear screw. Doesn't really show. I'm on the wrong page or something. You know what I miss about instruction manuals, by the way? Since I have this out, might have said this before, but tips and hints from the team. And then they would go through all of these different things. And you could always, you know, if you got lost, you could refer to this. You know, if you're trackside, you know, camber link. Making the camber link shorter tends to give more off-power steering into the turn, but can also make the steering feel a bit erratic. Making the camber link longer will slow down the reaction of the steering, but make what we need nowadays with all these different adjustments we can make on our cars, and yet hardly any instruction manual. None of the instruction manuals come with this stuff anymore. It's been one of my biggest gripes. And again, I know why they have to do that is because they have to print this thing in like 5 or 6 different languages, but still, you know, or at least give like a link or something to you know, your website that has all that information on it there. If you want to say anything, you can just have a permanent, you know, thing on a page and just direct people to that. And I know we like doing videos and stuff now too, but a lot of times, you know, you're just trying to get this information all in one place. I think that'd be a good idea. Be much better than some of the instruction manuals nowadays that are just like, well, here you go. Good luck with that. Oh, there we go. 31. Yeah, they're 1/2. Which is what that basically was, but I don't know. Yeah, this one is stripped out. That's kind of lame. It's almost like because I use this giant screw. This is probably a 3.5 millimeter. You can tell by the threads, a symmetric thread, so it's not quite what it was supposed to be. That's okay. I think I can make it work. I still haven't gotten to the front end yet. So what if I almost need like a piece of paper or something. Again, I'm not actually going to run this car, so this is a pure shelf queen. I'm going to try to locate a body for it though and get it painted up. I think that'd be kind of neat. So a trick you can do, it's a hacky trick, okay? But if you got a stripped out screw and you're in a pinch, let's say you're somewhere where you don't have a hobby shop or anything to buy anything. Let's say you're out on a track, you know, outside or bashing away, and you have this, you know, like the case is stripped, right? A lot of times I've taken a piece of paper and you kind of fold it up a little bit, and you kind of wedge it in there slightly, and then you should be able to tighten her up a little bit. Look at that. Just from the, okay. See, tacky, but it works. So, all right. So, the good news is, oh, that's what's wrong. So the hinge pins, I was wondering about that. So the hinge pins were wobbling back and forth, and it's because this hinge pin doesn't have the ball end that is on the end like this one. So that's another thing I'm probably going to have to steal off of this. Hopefully it's the same. Hopefully. All right, we're going to set this off to the side. And we're going to take apart this one. And I might even use these shock tops here while I'm at it. I could probably sell this chassis on eBay for a pretty good amount of money. Including the shocks too. Look at those cute little Losi shocks. They're little baby. Look at that. They're just little baby Losi shocks. Look at that. So as I was saying earlier, where's my 3/32? Got the oval done on the at the Plex, and I even worked on it some more today since there was 4 of us at work and we weren't too incredibly busy. So I went down there and really finished it up. I used the tamper to really smooth it out, and then I got the middle of the dirt oval done, and I think it looks really good. I'm gonna try to make a video tomorrow for Friday. Done one of those in a while, and it's just something I'm thinking about doing if I get time. But I'll show you guys. Hopefully it'll show up on video. But see, I used the middle of it to kind of finish off the off-road track right now. Off the back straightaway, coming down through turn 1, the opposite direction that the oval guys are going to go, and then you're going to 180 over tabletop, and then you'll 180 back and head down the front section. So should be a lot of fun. Like I said, the track's gonna be a lot bigger now. So with it being the whole track, it's gonna be probably we usually do about like laps, and the nitro guys, when we start to get that going, you know, those guys will probably do like probably 22, 23 second laps. So how about monster trucks again? Well, monster trucks are up to those guys. The thing about the monster truck racing, I was really happy to do it last year. But dude, I need time off. Like, that was just one more thing that that I had to worry about, and you know, I would like to see us just make the track available and have somebody else come in and you know, basically rent the track from us. You know, we charge an entry fee, $10 or whatever, you know, just the regular track pass, and then just do the monster truck racing. I just, it's not that I don't like it or don't want to do it. It was more about time with me, just having the time. And, you know, we don't have very many people working in the store, so it's really important to have, you know, our top shelf guys in the store working. So I feel like those are almost like aftermarket pieces in there. I guess we'll find out. I wouldn't mind getting a Gravedigger again, though, and just racing in the sport, nice and slow. Full disclosure, I sold my monster truck, so don't be mad at me. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what he's downloading. I think he said Grand Theft Auto 5, which I really didn't want him playing. But I guess it's better at 14 than at 11. The game first came out. Yeah, dude, Axial Gravediggers are awesome. I had an Axial SMT10 myself, and had the top qualifier truck, and I thought it was really cool. I think I'm gonna do it again. I'll make a Froboy truck where like the truck literally has a fro, like a wig on it. I think it'd be really funny. All right. Hopefully this bulkhead is the same. If not, the last 55 minutes will be for naught, which sometimes happens. Sometimes I forget stuff, and I'm like, oh man, didn't even work. Oh, look at that. Ah, this one's busted too. Damn it. Weak sauce. Look at that. Dang it, dang it, dang it. It's still in better shape than the other one, but shoot. And it is different. It's only different from the, looks like it's different from the, oh, it's a lot different. Is it? Yeah, it is. Darn it. Man. Well, at least two. So there's no sense putting it back together. And this is busted. Big time busted. Well, shoot. That's a bummer. Mister's back on here. I've been well. I'm chasing down some vintage stuff. And kind of coming up a little short, unfortunately. But I am going to steal these shock bushings off of this one. So this was this is a triple XS. Geez, I keep saying that. A triple X4 that I picked up. That is a little busted up. And I thought maybe I could snag some parts off of the triple XS chassis that I have. But it turns out that after doing all that, that the front diff cover is actually different. So kind of sucks. But oh well. So you can see this one has the sway bar holes here, and this one has 2 sway bar holes. And then if you put them side by side, they don't really match up with where the diff is at. So I can't even really use it. And is off of the triple XS, same parts busted here, so that's kind of a bummer. Oh well. But I can still salvage some shock bushings, since the shock bushings that this car had on it were Traxxas ones, and it was making the front shocks like super tight. That's not going to work. So yeah, Matt's been searching eBay for triple XS parts or triple X4 parts. I'm sure I could find some. I'm not too worried about that. You know what really sucks is it's been about 4 years now, but you know, we actually had a whole bunch of parts for this car not that long ago, and I put them all on eBay for the store, and we sold all of our really old stock, like crazy old, like late 90s, early 2000s stock, plus the rest of our closeout stuff, kind of all in one big bundle. And so I had some of this stuff on hand from the Plex, but you know, it's all stuff that's been long paid for. So there was no reason to, you know, hang on to it at full price. So we ditched it for a pretty cheap price. So I think when I got this apart, I'm just gonna pull all the good stuff out of here, because you never know, I might get that car I have up there running. Haven't really decided yet. Got too many projects going on all the time too. Why is that not coming out of there? There we go. Yeah, look at that. That's the broken piece to that mount. So this little guy, this thing was pretty ingenious. To get the belt out of the car, or to tighten the belt, you could change the belt tension by how much when you put this in and wrapped it down, you could change the belt tension by how much pressure you got on that. Such a good idea for a single belt car. It's really cool. You know, now our touring cars, like I got a X-Ray T4, you know, that I race with, and you know, it's all these elliptical spacers and all that stuff. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. This thing's got this inner cover here. Didn't that slide out of there? Can't remember. I don't want to do that. What am I doing? Oh, that's the, yeah, okay, I got it. Oh, darn it. I was going to get that belt out of there. Well, it's garbage anyways. we go. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, man. That's toast. Toast. Darn it. All right. Well, that's going to go in the bin. I have a bin. Right here. OG graphite box. Got this on an awesome trade. OG stickers. Diff parts, shock parts. More diff and shock parts, including the Matt Francis heatsink thingy. What else have I got in here? Look at all these plastic parts. That's crazy. That goes in there. That goes in there. Oh. That goes in there. That goes in there. And I believe that goes in there. Okay. I'm back in here. Whew, that's dirty. Yeah, eBay is really good for us to liquidate a lot of really old stock. And in fact, we don't really have that much old stock anymore because I've done so well getting rid of so much stuff on eBay for us that it's really helps us out. I turn around all my personal stuff on eBay just because say what you want. I mean, some people really seem to have a gripe against eBay for the percentage they take or whatever. My thing is as long as you put up a good description, tell the truth, take good pictures, stuff generally goes for a pretty good amount of money still on eBay. And as long as you know how to work the system, you know, don't list it for $300. If you want to sell it, you know you're going to sell it, you know, list it for 99 cents. eBay takes the least amount of money for that. But also, once you sell it, generally speaking, you never have to talk to that person ever again. Or if you sell it locally, you know, sometimes. Sometimes it's the way it goes. Well, shoot. I'm trying to decide if this is worth putting back together now because I know that the front bulkhead is broke no matter what. So, kind of struggling. I know I could put, I should put the shock tower on. So, that's pretty funny. There's a, I wonder if I have one of these bodies lying around. I would take little baby Team Associated stickers and put a little like cross through like the Ghostbusters thing. I used to do that. And I used to take the Team Associated stickers and put Team Ass on there as well. That's pretty funny. Matt keeps finding stuff on eBay for me. Full disclosure, Matt's the one I got this car from. But like I said, I didn't pay a lot of money for it, so it's fine. I'm not digging on Matt at all. I'm actually really happy I have this car. It'd be better if it was a double X4, but finding good shape ones of those are pretty rare. I missed one recently because I was too cheap to go to this auction. That was down in, where was that at? I wonder if I can just glue this. Hutchinson, Kansas. The other thing too is, like I said, this one side has no like pillow ball here, and this other one does. So I'm not even sure what to do with that. I wonder if I could find. I wonder if something like a. I wonder if like a. It's just a standard like shock end type thing. I wonder if I have that here. Oh yeah. Look at that right there. Oh, that's really funny. This body here was a kind of, you could see like me slowly finding my colors, and because I used to run a lot of silver all the time, and then I wanted really sparkly silver because I saw this dude one time at this track we used to go to in Chillicothe, Missouri. He had this just crazy sparkly silver, and when I saw how sparkly it was, I'm like, I want that on my car. So this is about as sparkly of silver as it got, and this doesn't really do it a lot of justice. But it was after this where I think I switched it up to white. I think this was the last silver body I ever did, and you could see my red and my purple and the white in there. And I had checkered flags a lot back then, and it kind of morphed into that. Kind of morphed into this, and you can see the blue in this one. And it was pretty much after 2009. I think what happened was the 22 came out, and I think when the 22 came out, my buddy Matt was like, "Hey, I'm going to switch up your body," and he instead of having everything pointed forward, he turned it around and had everything pointed backwards, and that's where my current paint scheme came from. Was that? So that would have been. I don't have any original. Oh yeah, I do. So these are 22 2.0 bodies, and you can kind of see where how it kind of went from this turned into this. There's a lot of 8-scale bodies here too that you can kind of, it's kind of cool to see the progression of how this came about. Also, I switched painters, so my buddy Matt moved away, and Ken McKinney still lives in Omaha. He paints all my bodies, so we kind of came up with this, and now this is it. This is just what all my stuff is painted. So kind of cool. Matt, no, this is not from Exarban. That first body I just showed you is on a triple X, so it would have been probably 2001, 2002, something like that. low-C nitro buggy, not even the 2.0. I believe this is a 1.0, and you can kind of see, you can sort of see how it started to morph. This still had the checkered flags. We got rid of that. Just less clutter in that paint scheme. So yeah, I don't know. I'm looking at this now, and I know that I'm missing like a ball here, and I was gonna put the underdrive in my axial. I got this Vanquish underdrive for the A4 axles. So underdrive will give me even more overdrive percentage on my axial AX103, my white truck right there. So I went to a crawling event on Sunday, and I did horrible in C2 with my enduro, and I'm super bummed out because my enduro is really cool. But I keep doing really well with that thing in class 3, and it's, other than the brass that I have in the front of it, I mean, it's basically stock. So I don't feel I need to buy anything for it, but I couldn't pass up the opportunity to put underdrive in the back. So I'm going to do that, and it should be really good. So, like I said, I'm never going to drive this car. I just want it to look a certain way. But I need to find one of these ball things. Did I learn anything from my crawling? I learned to pick when I'm going to go. Like, you shouldn't be the first one, but you probably shouldn't be near the end, I guess. But the dude who won it, I think he went last, so I don't know. Sometimes at these events, depending on the kind of rock, like all the rock got moved around a little bit, so early, the rocks are kind of, if you go too late, a lot of times those rocks can move. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know about crawling. I mean, we were doing crawling 2008. Remember, we had the Midwest Challenge indoor. My original AX10. I did horrible. I never completed it. I don't even think I finished a gate on that one. I was pretty butthurt about that one. And then you get the low-C stuff, like the low-C comp crawler back then. And, you know, it had a dig. It was legal. And, you know, and I kind of don't. I think today's crawlers are just as good in that regard. And so, I don't know. Well, yeah, the stick chassis stuff's pretty rad. Those big, what do they call that? They call it supers? I think they called them supers, right? So you had, because they did it by tires. So you had a 1.9 class, a 2.2 class, and then a super class. And they were these basically just like sticks with big giant axles and big giant tires on them. And those things had, most of the time they were motor on axle. So they could like, you could like have a hangover and those things would come up, grab from the top and be able to pull themselves up. It was pretty gnarly how they had that stuff. So, well, I'm going to bail. I'm looking at this car and I'm that it needs before I can put it back together, and I think I'm going to try to find it at the store tomorrow. So I'm just going to leave it, and hopefully my cat won't jack with stuff. So sorry if the feed's bad. I think it's our internet. I'm sure it is. So I apologize for that. we have really good internet, but when Jerkface is up there downloading crap while I'm trying to do this on Thursday nights, we're gonna have to set a new rule in the house for that. So I'll see you guys later. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate your guys' time. This is crazy how we're always getting like, you know, anywhere from 10 to 20 people on here at a time. So I appreciate it. We'll try to make some videos this weekend. Of course, we'll have the mains from the Carpet Off-Road Syndicate probably sometime. And I might try to get something from Friday, tomorrow night. And then we will be having our HobbyPlex show podcast on Monday. And but the following Monday, we won't. So just be aware for that. And yeah, we'll try to keep fresh on here for you guys. So that's it for now. I'll stop talking. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys soon.